this opportunity to thank all of you for the wonderful welcome you've given to me and my wife. I thank you very much. This will inspire me to continue to do whatever I'm doing.
Sure.
This indicates that you appreciate every effort that I'm making to speak for the voice.
That's true.
Yes. So I would say that we should all stay calm. Nobody should worry. Because anybody who decides to speak the truth and fight for the voiceless will go through all this ordeal. And with this, through this ordeal, I become a better person.
Sure. I
become a better person
to
fight and defend the country and the voices. Thank you to all of you. And in due course, you will hear from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless you all.
Opportunity to thank all of you for the wonderful welcome you've given to me and my wife. I thank you very much. This will inspire me to continue to do whatever I'm doing.
Sure.
This indicates that you appreciate every effort that I'm making to speak for the voice.
That's true.
Yes. So I would say that we should all stay calm. Nobody should worry. Because anybody who decides to speak the truth and fight for the voiceless will go through all this ordeal. And with this, through this ordeal, I become a better person.
Sure. I
become a better person to fight and defend the country and the voices. Thank you to all of you. And in due course, you will hear from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless you all.
Opportunity to thank all of you for the wonderful welcome you've given to me and my wife. I thank you very much. This will inspire me to continue to do whatever I'm doing.
I'm sir, audios bina de APM boa. Na sa audio na APM no share video na ANAS mo de ba bonten se judge no will read the verdict of the jury now. And Abrana, so what should be?
My pa.
Mo.
My video need offer.
Sa video na judge ni read the jury for verdict no. Ni atua so pepepe sa audio na ababonten no. But I don't know, ANAS mo ammo. Sawati ase. Aha. Sa audio no na etia just immediately a continuation nti sanka omubo full video na enka sa message no nso ebeba ama omanfo ate na yentie ebra judge no ode charge jury fo na omo epie no na lawyers no ne judge no da so dia no baba ye. And when the judge ruled already rulings no from jury for no one conclude case no na me pese yentie sa audio no kakra wo mo amoti amaka brofo no bete enti yentie kakra bi.
This is what the jury said. In our initial finding, we awarded $18 million with a breakdown of presumed damages $5 million, actual damages $5 million, and punitive damages $8 million.
We're done.
No, Judge. I'm requesting a mistrial. They can't to consider punitive damages in the initial, and you can't mold the verdict. I'm once again requesting a remitter based upon that, and a new trial should be granted based upon that response, Judge. They were not considered. They were outside of your. I'm just making a record, Judge, now, if I could. Those are outside your instructions. They were required to follow your instructions. They didn't follow your instructions. You're not permitted to mold that verdict because that's not form. A judge can only mold form. For instance, and you can mold the lien if the parties agree that you could.
Abrana, judge, no already verdict in the year. Watch us, you are discharged. Odikambo presuming damages $5 million. Actual damage $5 million and punitive damage $8 million. And our nurse lawyer the here we are done. And honorable Ken lawyer no na ekasa no judge. I say no judge. You can't. Muntiebio, maybe obiante. Listen carefully. I'll pause in between time.
This is what the jury said.
This is the verdict the juries said.
In our initial findings, we awarded $18 million with a breakdown.
In our initial findings, juries awarded $18 million with breakdown
of presumed damages $5 million.
Presumed damage $5 million.
Actual damages $5 million.
Actual damages $5 million.
And punitive damages $8 million.
And punitive damages $8 million, making $80 million.
We're done.
No, Judge.
ANAS lawyer tell us we're done. Wama judge nimpanu ensio. Ano no kase we done. Wama judge no nano ayadan nano ensi kra. No si we done. No si no judge. Savi de hono ANAS mo show. Na de course no anti case no anya complete. Nti omanfo hu hono a wamode ayewe no. This is the problem. Na tiano baba enwe.
I'm requesting a mistrial. They can't to consider punitive damages.
He is requesting for mistrial because the client considered punitive damages.
in the initial, and you can't mold the verdict.
Initial wena ba ye no. Yase munko enko hwehwe punitive damage numra. Sankrofo initial one na previously no omo no 80 million no omo de ahyemu dada. Inti breakdown na benos afeni ye ba hwehwe punitive damage no. Na bansa na mo makopre mo ho. Se mo de ahyemu dada. One na ma mo da me ma mo instructions se muntie na mundi so. Ade na mo makoye saade we di abrame. That is what Honorable Ken Lawyer was challenging.
I'm once again requesting a remitted based upon that, and a new trial should be granted based upon that response, Judge. They were not considered. They were outside of your. I'm just making a record, Judge, now, if I could. Those are outside your instructions. They were required to follow your instructions.
You see? I say you are not allowed to move this or to enter because they worked outside your instructions. They worked outside, and the lawyer was emphatic on what he was saying.
Didn't follow your instructions.
They didn't follow your instructions.
Not permitted to mold that verdict.
You are not permitted to move that verdict.
Because that's not form. A judge can only mold form. For instance,
a judge can only move form, but you are not permitted to. And the judge, we not say, okay, so what is your request? But before then, ANAS lawyer interrupt the answer.
Since there's a lien, and you can mold the lien if the parties agree that you could pre-tax versus post-tax income. The judge is permitted to mold the verdict based upon the specific evidence that was presented. You are not allowed to mold that verdict. That's a remitted. There should be a new trial granted, and unfortunately, they did their job, and we should send them home.
Judge,
and then ANAS lawyer Nebemu Abeka Nedia Nos Judge. We crowd in Kaya curable. A woman say, oh, my mistake, dear Nanso. Or did you say, Uncle, dear, wow, do discretion? I am Bibia, Muntie. Asama. Ye jina jury for aso ajaji na se me say kaba we say a judge no in the civil court no you can't. Mistake is a mistake. That calls for a retrial, but when they
basically my thought is on their form, which is what was submitted to the court, it did state that it was presumed damages. On that basis, I believe that the instruction that your Honor should send back was that the punitive damages and the actual damages were not included in.
So even in this case, lawyer Nanka Sakurano initially one tiase. This is how it is. Because I presume that not just say no nim say initial instructions or the mar or momono. Ebi asa necessary but I feel no ebe who say error number
in that judgment.
I'd like to see the law, Judge. I think Your Honor is more than equipped than either of us to understand that when the jury sends that back and they haven't followed your instructions, and you can't send them back to re-deliberate.
You can send them back to re-deliberate on the issue. The lawyer is so tough. Huh? I understand. And I feel now who send one back to him re-deliberate. And into no discharge woman.
Had they had that question during deliberations, you could have given an instruction, a curative instruction, and brought them in and said, punitive damages if you're not to decide, just decide. First of all, there should have been actual damages because there was only presumptive damages presented. There were no actual damages. And Judge, it's just simply a mistrial. It
was audio bien hobium. This was the last day we met. And in the absence of this audio, Unya audio biya a free judge ho, a free lawyers meaning ho. This is the last audio we did. Inti so Biba can be bitched out in the absence of this ayatro. Inti the judge has never ruled on the case. The judge read the verdict of the jury and discharged them. But this was the problem. And I'm small man, 30-day motion. And the verdict, the mistrial, you can't just use by word. And that's all judge okay, sit down. I'm going to let the jury go back and re-ascertain the punitive damage. No, because not time in us. So the only thing about the charge, no one ma ejina lawyer for me and intem. You have granted that, okay, go and bring your motion. So the motion that the judge, the lawyer is going to bring, and no never state the actual mistakes, which the judge even have admitted those mistakes. And in this, judge na caliber so jina sa mistakes you overrule case in favor of ANAS or no cry the profession is at stake. Inti mobia and jina baby and to two and nam no ho and kekana ANAS win. Yes, verdict about from the jury for no. As you say, ye na ye vote ama ANAS. Fair enough. What was the final pronouncement of the judge? It never came. And then a Ghana and Santrafo. ANAS and Suyan Santrani sign a lawyer. He knows. Now with Timiaba, Abaya Edian press releases. I am Yoma Bebre, Ama Yajiatum, Amam Penim Fopa. The only person I am in one waka KSM when he was congratulating ANAS for the victory. I'm so wow. Ghana. ANAS winning case Nanso must that call for a topmost journalist for most not just no phone Obiasro say Obeba Altabe Kabri be a support to ANAS because they look at Honorable Kennedy at that time Nanso Obiasro on Tisabri BSC Bribisia and who adofo Abrana na one sir Anka wone the first person among my stories be a course or court. But friend Bisamno, I told you